Zach started coming down with just what we thought was a fall cold. Didn't think anything much of it. Wasn't getting any better, was getting worse. Took him to the emergency department. They're like, well, we've seen hundreds of cases of this. Just go home, rest, drink lots of fluids. And we were on our way. And then 26 hours later, he really took a drastic turn for the worse. I was like, there's something more than just this being a fall cold. Took him back to the same emergency department, and as soon as we walked in, he collapsed onto the floor. It was overwhelming, chaotic, scary. I was being told that he was in complete heart failure with kidney and liver failure. And I just couldn't understand, like, how does this happen? He had a cold, and we were waiting for a cardiac thoracic surgeon to fly in and perform surgery. After that surgery, about 6.5, 7 hours later, they thought his diagnosis was viral myocarditis, which was a virus that attacked his heart, and it was severe to the point that it caused the other multi-organ failures to happen. Zach's heart was severely damaged. The only option for us was to have Zach have a pediatric heart transplant. I heard about IACKids from one of the social workers. When I did find out about it, Zach, his health had severely declined during that day, and we were preparing to be mercy flighted down to New York City. So I actually had a phone conversation with Neil Butera, who was one of the co-founders of IACKids. He's like, normally, this isn't how we start this process when a patient is referred to our organization, but he knew through the social workers how severely ill Zach was. So everything was done via a phone conversation with Neil, and then we were whisked away later that day down to New York City. Being a single mom, being out of work, not knowing what the future held. You know, I was worried about what was gonna happen back home. Am I gonna lose where we live? Are they gonna come and take my car? I was able to use 12 weeks of FMLA, but I didn't have any income coming in. I was worried that, you know, the outcome when we're done with all this, however long this journey is with Zach, am I gonna go back to a home? And then for the fact that he had the transplant down in New York City, all of his follow-up care, every appointment and every heart biopsy to check for rejection, we had to go to New York City. Am I gonna have means to get down there? You know, 15 trips to New York City 1 year post-transplant, and that's where IACKids came in. They took that financial burden off of my shoulders and took care of that. Truly was a blessing. I had never even heard of IACKids before. I'm truly blessed that this organization is around. It's important as a parent that you're there for your child. It helps them. Even though I didn't physically go through everything that he endured, I walked every mile and every step with him.
I don't think I would have been able to have done it without her, and wouldn't have persevered through the whole experience and made it out to be the person that I am today.
So it's just not an organization that just because you're done with your hospital stay and your child's on the mend, they still follow through even years after. It's been 3.5 years since Zach has had his heart transplant, and we still talk to Neil. It was a lifesaver for me and for Zach. And I would encourage, if you have the opportunity to allow IACKids to help you, take it. They become family to you.
After I got discharged from the hospital and was home, I definitely got a better connection with IACKids, going to their galas that they had, you know, part of their auctioning. It makes me feel, you know, glad they helped me and that they're helping hundreds, thousands, as many other kids as they need to help.
The world needs to know more about IACKids.